and welcome to southern Spain. We've spent the last 10 days in Ibiza.
Yes, it's been lovely. Really nice to be there off season. The place is empty. You've got it to yourself, really. And it's been warm and good sailing. It's the first time, actually, today is we've had to put a sweatshirt on, a bit of a chilly wind in the morning.
Yeah, we had quite a lot of sailing, anchoring out, beautiful turquoise water. That was the best thing for me. And the white sands. It's true, it is white sands.
Yes, it's lovely. I hope you enjoy the film.
Coming up, sailing with the wind in the right direction. Anchoring in some beautiful bays. And visiting the town of Ibiza, off-season. There's never a dull moment in Cartagena. Every weekend, it seems, there's a running competition through the town or a swimming competition behind our boat. The marina, as ever, is slap bang in the centre of it all. It's lovely, but exhausting. So we decided to go sailing. First step, get out of the port. But it's pretty busy out here this afternoon, actually, more so than we've had before. We've got 2 tugs now coming out to, I think, guide this tanker in. It's quite fun to watch. Meanwhile, I've turned to starboard so that we're not in the way.
It's very high out of the water. You can see his prop going around. He's obviously not got anything on board. Tug's got him now. Take him in. He was going slowly and just sat out here when we came out, and you sort of just think they're anchored because they almost always are. Lots of them out here anchored. So we had a quick look on IAS and saw he was doing 7 knots. So Julie got a course to get out of the way. He's going to head into the industrial port, which is just on the outskirts of Cartagena here.
Then sails up and we're underway. We left just after lunch with enough supplies for a 10-day trip. As we were warned, Ibiza is expensive. The pilot book showed us the best places to go for shelter, and our decision was to make a stop just round the corner from Cartagena first, then go across. So here's our route from Cartagena to Ibiza. Tonight we're anchoring round the corner in Cabo de Palos. Then tomorrow we'll sail overnight, either to Ibiza or to Formentera, depending on the wind. Either way, we plan to get there by mid-morning. Both anchorages offer good protection as the wind is predicted to be coming from the southwest. Back to today, and it's perfect conditions, and we have some friends come and join us. Just a couple of dolphins this time, and they didn't stay long, but they are always welcome and exciting to see. The coastline is rugged and mountainous and wonderfully relaxing. So much so that we got a bit carried away playing cards. When the light faded, the wind dropped, and that made it quite tricky to jibe.
Just a matter of dragging the clue out the right side, and then the wind will get it and take her away. There we go. In stronger winds it goes through quite nicely, but we haven't got much. I think we're down to about 7 knots of free wind now. Might have to start the motor for the last little bit in.
We don't like arriving anywhere at night, but who would have missed this?
It was pitch black by the time we got in here, last night, but it was worth it because you can see it's a lovely bay, nice and sheltered. Got a good headland that's sort of sticking out there that's sheltering us from the swell, which is why we wanted to come all the way around here. But it's not ideal coming in somewhere in the dark, somewhere you don't know. It's quite disorientating, always in the dark. You can't see distances that well. And there's little lights here. There's little lights that were on some of the buoys that were actually, I think, on the swim buoys here, marking the swimming area. And you don't sort of know what they are. You can't see the distance of them. It looks like they might be some sort of navigation buoys, but they weren't.
With the morning comes paddleboard practice. What we really wanted to find out, though, is not whether it's safe to swim, though this is a consideration, but where exactly we had dropped the anchor, because by anchoring at night, we'd got it stuck under a rock.
So we're going to try and jiggle it out using the weight of the boat. So I'm going a little bit forward and Steve's at the front looking down. You can actually see the anchor because it's not very deep here and it seems to be stuck between two rocks. So we're going to be jiggling backwards and forwards, I think. Right, so going forward for action. Okay, now we're going back a bit. It's a matter of giving it a blast, really. It's probably enough. Ooh, dear me, dear me, dear me. Okay, done it? Oh wow, okay. Well, that was quite good. That happened quite quickly, excellent. Yeah, so now we'll get the anchor up. Brilliant. Woo, thank goodness for that.
And we're off. Again, the wind is in our favour and we're moving along happily at about 6 knots.
Looking at the wind on our passage plan, I'm using predict wind here, and one of the reasons I like this is that it's got several different agencies that it takes its model from. So it's got 4 at the bottom here, but it's just 2 agencies. So this one's the European, and this one, if we switch over, is the global. And if they agree, it means the models are matching up, and there's a high possibility that's what you're really going to get. If you watched episode 2 when we came across Bay of Biscay, those two were completely different, and we looked at a few other agencies as well, different modelling, and they didn't agree. So that's when you know they don't really know what's going on. So you can see they're pretty much agreeing at the moment, the 2 different models. So that should be quite high accuracy that's going to be right. Be interesting to see, actually. We'll have a look and I'll compare it when we do get there at that time. It's a day and a bit time, so it should be fairly accurate. And we'll see then the wind just drops down quite nicely for when we get to Ibiza. So we should have our pick of places to anchor.
But before then, another glorious day. And our friends are back. It must be dinner time. We tend to have one main meal a day when we're at sea, at about 4 o'clock.
So Steve's making a curry.
Yeah, lovely chicken curry. Always a good thing to have.
It's quite a good little cooker, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it could do with being slightly bigger, but you know, can't have everything. You can get 3 pots on here, which is enough. Need to get rid of that. We don't keep any organic stuff on board when we're cruising, so that can go overboard rather than in the bin.
I'll do that in a sec.
We'll do it in about 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Right down there.
chicken and chickpea curry with basmati rice. Lovely. The wind was forecast to decrease, which it did, so we decided to keep full sail but add a preventer, and we hope to sail like this through the night. But as the sun dropped, so did the breeze, to nothing. So we had to motor. But it still made quite a picture. At dawn, the sun came up along with the dolphins. Then the breeze. We were on target for the island of Formentera. So this coastline is the southern part. Amazing rock faces and caves all along it. And when we arrive, there's hardly anyone here. I like that.
Yeah, I think they've got every single different type of rock here. We've had a nice evening walk and we've got a little bit more exercise to come because you'll notice there is a lack of outboard on this dinghy.
I'm never going to get in.
Judy's trying to get in the dinghy, which is not her favourite thing to do.
I'm just so bad at this.
I don't know why. Yeah. Wrap the rope round there so you're holding on to it so the boat doesn't go away. That's it. And then you get to get on there. So yes, we are now rowing. Very well done. Yes, very elegant. We are now rowing everywhere on this trip because another thing has died on the outboard. That's 3 things now. Things are breaking faster than I can fix them. So I think that's curtains for our little outboard. Meanwhile, let's row.
Feels like we're going a bit faster than when we were rowing too short. I guess the wind's pushing us out.
Yep, wind with us this time. Surprising actually. I thought we would struggle getting in, but it's not too bad. It's both rowing, one each side.
Yeah, there were 2 of us doing it.
Yeah, I can't row and film, so
no, someone's got to film. Someone's got to film. Totally get it.
there's the offending engine. It's not looking good now.
Who needs an engine? Got rowing.
So we've got about 20 knots of wind blowing through the anchorage, as you can probably hear. So trying to weigh anchor here. It's obviously pulled pretty tight. I don't just try and bring it up with the windlass. I've got 26 tons of boat here. It's a lot of boat to pull, so I get Judy to drive forward. Okay. So just do that with a hand signal. Basically all you're doing is driving the boat forward and then taking up the slack with the windlass. Be really careful not to over tighten the clutch on the windlass. Mine's only ever hand tight. That means if it gets a lot of strain, it'll slip. Locking the clutch up tight with a bar is definitely the best way to brake your windlass, especially if it's electric. Keep on doing this until you're up level with the anchor and the chain's just hanging down vertically. So it looks like we've got to the point now where we're just about to dig it out, so it goes a bit hard. If it slips, then just give it some time. It'll work its way out. Use the swell for the boat to lift it up rather than just, again, putting all that strain on the windlass. And we can see now, got it. So I'll try tuning it up. And wait until it's the right way around to actually go on. We've got a swivel on it, so it sort of turns around itself.
Our next stop is Ibiza town, about 3 hours sail. For the first time this trip, the wind was ahead of us, so a chance to put up all 3 sails. Yahoo! I also planned to do a bit more paddleboarding. Tightening the leeches still involves a bit of gymnastics, but there's nothing better than a steady Yankee.
It is nice with a cutter rig to have all the sails up. I'm going to say gentlemen shouldn't sail to winds, but I think in this boat I quite like it.
Between the two of us, we have this tacking thing nailed. 3 years we've been doing this and finally getting it sorted right.
So I'm just lying in my favourite spot on the ship, out on the bowsprit, my favourite view as well. I don't mean my feet, I mean the lines of the boat that you can see from here. Good curves, I think, Hans Christians.
Oh, there you are. I've slowed us down, so we're ready to anchor pretty much any time soon.
Better get up there then.
Ibiza town is the biggest town on the island and we've never been here before.
There's a bit of a hill to walk up to get into here. And there's a big wall. It looks like this is the way through into the old town. Ooh, it's a bit spooky.
But there are lights, it's fine. Lighting the way.
God, this is a thick wall.
A bit more.
It's like being back in Gibraltar. Okay, that's not what I expected. We're still outside.
Oh, you thought it was inside the wall?
I thought that was going inside the wall.
No, it's sideways still. Yeah, this is good. Let's go this way.
That's a nice sunset anyway.
Beautiful.
Nice view of the sunset. I just thought we'd appear through the wall in the old town of Ibiza. Not quite. Our boat is just around there, behind the hill there. It's going to be a bit dark at the boat by the time we get back.
does have some lovely views.
And that's the end of part 1 of the film, because from that moment onwards the wind came up and we had really rather a rocky time in the anchorage, and I think we had just one day on shore after.
Yeah.
Well, you had one day on shore.
I managed to get to shore just to watch the Rugby Cup final. Luckily enough, there was a little pub, this is it, called the Queen Vic in Ibiza, which was showing the rugby. So that was good, showing about the result. But
yeah, well, you know, you can't have everything. Anyway, we're on our way back now to Cartagena, so you'll see some of the weather that we had to go through in order to get there.
it was a bit of a different story, wasn't it, coming back to going out?
We thought we had a weather window to go to Ibiza, we just missed the weather window to come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you like our film, please subscribe.
And yes, keep watching, comment, and thank you for watching.